NYCU Sports Podcast show. I'm Coach Uncle Milt. What's up, Joe? Joe is in the house. High's in the house. What's going on, High?
What's going on? What's going on?
What's going on? Listen, man, it's like, the old saying, 3 steps forward, 2 steps back. So, we are doing this long off season. We plan to move the studio, and, we got a little setback on that. Didn't realize the leasing deals. It's a whole different world. So we got a little setback. We need to be doing something different for a few weeks right now until we find a permanent home. It's all about trying to find a permanent home to grow, to bring in more sports shows and do a lot of things as far as youth sports in New York City and New York State, the county and everything. So we'll be back in our own home. It's going to be permanent. We're going to be there for years. We found the perfect spot. We negotiating the lease. It's a new thing for us. Where we was before, we was like a month-to-month thing now. We getting into this lease deal that we got to take out more than 2 years. So we got to figure out, how to do this thing and getting us back in place and back where we was and we left off. But we had a long layoff, man. A lot of things happened. There's a lot of things going on in youth sports. The last time we had a show, we had Bill Solomon bringing his and Just they bringing in a new league, and it seems like that didn't happen as planned. But let me say this here, it's not over yet. It's just that sometimes more than two, and I'll be the first to say that you do have setbacks when you planning things and other things come into aspect. And it's an old saying, when you plan, other people planning too. So that's the way it goes. But those guys have the right to exercise, their right to do their own thing as far as the league. They did it before, so they got the right to exercise it, and that's it. So with that said, that happened, and it was a couple of things with us, like I just explained, our studio and things like that happened, and a lot of it. I've been on Facebook with a couple of things going on Facebook, and things that we're doing in the future. And far as next week, you have the New York All Stars, the phenomenal Mike and Jay is bringing a couple of teams down from New York and down to Atlantic City, AC, to play in the state. Sports Farm tournament, All-Star tournament. I keep calling it State Farm. I don't know. So it's a commercial. It's a good, but it's a good, it's a good damn sponsor if they could get it. But it'll be a couple of teams down there. Please tune in on the NYC page on Mike and Jay, and get updates on what the game's going to be, what time and everything. We be down there on a Friday and Saturday, and it's a media day on Friday, so we be making stuff happen and stuff. So tonight, we're gonna have a light night. I just want to get back on the bike, with this little setback. It couldn't, I couldn't get back on the air like I really want to, far as guests is concerned. But we're gonna be going to certain guests and going other places, and we can, we got the podcast show that it can move. The podcast show going to have a permanent home, but we building that we can move. The live stream is on track that we can record from anywhere. We can go any field, any park, any sports event. We could be there. So that's one thing that we're doing, and we hoping that come to fold. But just like I said, there's a lot of Facebook chatter and things like that on Facebook about certain things, and certain things popped off, that stuff that went viral and things like that is very, very funny and things, so it's with that, I just wanted to get back on the bike, get back, show my face, show that we still here, we still growing and things like that. We're gonna bring back the guests. We got a dynamic guest next week coming in, and we're gonna confirm and we're gonna put it on Facebook who it is. Every week we're gonna be highlighting what guests come on the sports show, so your guys can come and support us. And remember, we need your support. We need you hitting that subscribe button. We need you donating to the Cash App. We need you buying our apparel. We need the support from New York City and New York State and the county of New York, because we're bringing youth sports directly to you guys. So this is something we need. With that said, we're not gonna. It's going. This is tonight. It's gonna be weird to me because we don't got any commercials. We don't got the usually things that I have, because we don't have a permanent place. Our place is very it's temporary till we figure out what we gonna do with a lease. Is very new to us, and your guys just wish us the best, man. And if y'all keep supporting, man, we'll be good. We'll be good when we keep getting your guys support. So any topic tonight, call in. Number is 718-717-9618. That's 718-717-9618. Come talk to Uncle Milt, and catch up, tell me what happened, what's going on since we've been off the air. Come shout me out and things like that, and pretty much that's it. I got a few announcements to make that we're doing. We're looking for positional coaches with this new board work show that we sports show we trying to. And let me explain what that board work show is. That board work show is about breaking down the positions in football and basketball, what the responsibilities are, the fundamentals and the responsibility are in the position. We're gonna be bringing in different coaches that's expert in coaching that position. We also got to highlight how important a positional coach is for youth sports. A coach that teach the kids fundamentally, teach the kids the way to find a passion and effort to perform, and just not just throwing the kid out there and not knowing what he's doing and things like that. So we are concentrating on something that the parents can watch. This is a show that kids can watch, and we're gonna break it down from the bottom to the top. And hoping that show will be fantastic for viewers. So any coach out there that want to be a part of this show, hit Uncle Milt up on the Gmail, NYC Youth Sports Podcast Show at gmail.com. Hit us up on the telephone number, just like I said, 718-717-9618. Hit us up on Facebook, the Facebook group, NYC Youth Sports Podcast, or the Facebook group NY for NY. And speaking for NY for NY, what it is, NY for NY is a Facebook group page. Also, we're gonna make that a sports organization, a political sports organization. Once we get enough people in and things like that, we're going to build a board and everything and make that a political organization so we can get certain things in parks that we need. Some of these parks needs to be converted to suit what the sports are in the area, to enhance and grow, youth sports, basketball, football, track and soccer and things of that nature. Also, we use the group page to advertise any any sports games, any kind of event that's dealing with kids. Put it on. That's in New York now. In New York State, County, or New York City. Put it on that NY for NY Facebook group page. So we have two. Facebook pages: the NYCU Sports Podcast Show page, and it's the NY number 4 NY group page on Facebook. So that's what. Please join that group if you're in New York. Join that group. Post your events, where to go, what you're doing, and things like that in that group. And that. Another thing is, we talked about the ball work. Is another thing. We want to know the upcoming season, who's posting, who's playing preseason. And let me explain that to you like a minute. Preseason games. I'm not following scrimmages anymore. I'm not interested in any scrimmages. I'm not going to follow scrimmages. I feel, scrimmages are practice. A lot of things is going to happen in scrimmages as far as kids is not ready, blown assignments, things like that. So I don't want to come and look and report on a practice, because a practice should be sacred. It should be private. And we don't need to be there watching and talking about people's practices and things like that. But I will pop up on some practices, in the upcoming season and before the season, to see who's who and who I could talk about, who's that next up of being king of New York. You know what I'm saying? Who that next up that's going to dethrone the king of New York last year, Brooklyn Chiefs. Who's going to be that next up on that to dethrone them for the 2022 season? So I will be watching that. I will be watching and going to different organizations and watching to see who's who, seeing what's what. So this is why I don't want to really talk about scrimmages, but I want more preseason games. I want more. I got an idea, because a lot of people hit me up. Kids, we don't want to get the kids hurt. We don't want to do this. We don't want to do that. Scrimmages is a certain way that I said no. It's a project. It's a practice. That's what it is. It's a practice. And the thing is this: a preseason game don't have to be played 4 quarters. A preseason game don't have to be played at 12 minutes a quarter. You can play 2 quarters and get out of there. It's just that it's a full game to see, and it's like a dress rehearsal before the season. That's how I look at it. And it's a dress rehearsal. You have referees. You're under the clock. You know what I'm saying? You got calls and things like that. So you want to see how the kids is going to react and in that type of system. And so you can really assess, because the one thing I'm tired of, coaches talking, I'm this, I'm that. When we see it on the field, let us talk at the sports show. Let us talk on our sports media platform and say who you are. I understand that coaches want to, big themselves up and things, but let us do it. Let us do it. That's our job, to look and assess and see. Coach High, you there? All right, I don't know if you can hear Coach High, man. I'm gonna try to move it up and things. What's going on, man? How you doing?
Well, just surveying the scene and seeing what's going on around the city.
Yeah, how you feel? I got it.
Pretty much thinking about the oncoming season. Seeing a lot of the kids in the city that's been getting better, putting in a lot of work, training, and getting themselves together. Because New York City, it looked like what the Chiefs is doing. They're actually bringing a lot of eyes to the city. So we can't be out here half stepping. So everybody got to start stepping their game up.
Yeah, I know you can't comment on the Chief upcoming season because it's like kind of new. I mean, I know your guys got a couple of games that's out of state, but we want to see how that's going to be. But I want to ask you this. I want to ask you this. How you feel about that new Bulwark show we working on?
The Bulwark show is going to be strong, man. I really feel very optimistic about what's about to happen with the Bulwark show. We're gonna get coaches to come on the show and really shed some light on guys who know their stuff. That basically know what's going on about the city, know what's going on about their positions, and knowing what it is that they need to know about football, because there's a lot of lackluster football out there. So I want guys to actually get better in their craft, mastering their things and understanding what they need to know about set positions. So more kids can leave the city, and hopefully we can get more scholarships and more recruits about the nation.
Yeah,
put New York City on the
map, and maybe get more kids fundamentally sound.
Yes.
Yes. And because the main thing I feel, some people feel differently. With when you recruit, you get new kids every year, and you recruit, and you got to get those kids ready to participate in some fashion on the team. You know what I'm saying? So it's not a team full of 3 good players and everybody just fitting in. Kids are developing every practice, every game. They develop to get better and better and better. So you can expand. You might have a few that's advanced, then you got the other 5 and 6 and 7 kids that's solid, that's fundamentally sound, and you can build a winning team with that.
See, I've been coaching for a very long time. My oldest son is 24 years old. I've been coaching for a very long time. And what's crazy about what's going on for me in New York City and what people see, everybody wants to talk about who does what and who's doing what. And yeah, we coaching, this is volunteering, and nobody is actually trying to get better in their crafts. So it's like, what I see with why board work has to be in the forefront is because there has to be a real understanding that knowledge and education doesn't stop where you stop.
Mm-hmm.
It's infinite. We have to really focus on putting more time into our craft, and the game changes. The game changes year to year. So, when people really, think they're good enough and just stop right there, that you're limiting yourself. So,
yeah.
I've always been a coach that, I want to try to learn things. I want to keep getting better, keep, learning different things to actually make my skill set better. And what I realize is that people really don't take a real onus on understanding what they need to understand about whatever it is that they're doing, and being creative and being, more intuitive of what they need to do to get better.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. But we, just like I said, when you and me thought of this project 2 years ago, and it coming into fruition now, that we really going forward with it. Bulwark can cross all types of youth sports platforms. Like we start now with football and basketball, and I think those are the 2 biggest sports in New York State. In New York State, including city and county. And I've been to a lot of tournaments. I've seen a lot of football, and I've seen a lot of kids, largely by the number. It's not football fundamentally sound. Period. So this is great. People starting to like it. They look, they see, it's a good idea. I got a lot of good mail on it. Saying we even got a fan out there. We even got a fan out there on Facebook. We're gonna talk about that later. We got a fan out there, and the brother likes it too, and I appreciate that. People are watching us and coming up with great ideas and things, and and uh, and spreading the word. That's about spreading the word. That's the main thing, to spread the word. And like we so we
word happens to supposedly get around quick around the city. You know, a lot of people just talk. And for me, I believe people talk because they got lips.
yeah.
So, you know what I mean? A lot of the time when I hear certain things, you know, it goes over my head with a lot of things people do because I laugh because, you know, there's in a city that's never sleeps,
Yeah.
you know, people really don't pay attention to things that's going on around them. So, you know, it's just a lot of unnecessary conversations at times. And then, you know, people think they know, but they have no idea. You know, because there's so many people that came up from New York City that's about different states that, you know, really chime in on a lot of why New York City is in the condition it is in when it comes to sports and, you know, different things. You know, too much distractions, too much things that, you know, people really don't tend to pay attention to when it comes to athletics and supporting the kids about the city.
Yeah, but the deal is this, and I mentioned it before. I just see a large number of coaches just paying attention to the few, not not not
That's the whole.
not the whole. And it's coaching is not meant to do that. You know what I'm saying? It's like coaching is to get the whole team somewhat on the same page.
Oh,
And
absolutely.
and
Absolutely.
you have 22 positions in football to get the kids that's playing no position, even if they playing both sides of the ball, or some might be playing two position or three positions. You need to get them in the highest uh, 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 percentage to play that position and do well in that position. So there's no weak link. There's no weak link.
No, you're absolutely right. You know, your weakest link sometimes might have to be your strongest link. And,
Yeah.
you know, how that's done is by, you know, coaching the fundamentals.
Yeah.
You know, basically putting the right people in the right situations. Like in life, you know, you wanna utilize people, you don't want to use them. You know what I mean? You don't want to put them in a position where they cannot be successful. And a lot of times that what people do is that, you know, they really put people in a lot of bad positions, kids included, and, you know, at the end of the day, they make it not about what's really going on. See, me as a coach, I try to leave no stone unturned. So, you know, I'm just gonna speak about myself. You know, when I coach, it's like, you know, if you're not trying to coach and understand every and all positions, you're not going to get an understanding or a philosophy of what it is that you have to do on the football field.
Yeah.
And I think that's a lot of the time what happens with a lot of coaches as well, that they don't understand that they have to, you know, draw from a philosophy. They can't just do it and just freestyle, you know?
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I mean, you know, do they know that? Do they know that they have to have a philosophy and a game plan and stick with it? That might be too much upstairs to fathom. I just want to come and do this and do that. You know, I don't want to do all this too much.
Yeah, time restraints are a big part of what a lot of coaches use as excuses.
Yeah.
So why certain things don't get done.
Yeah.
But, you know, we as the adults and we as the mentors have to make a way, because we didn't have a way when we were playing. Now, you know, New York City and you know, the outlet that we have with the podcast show and different things about the city, that, you know, right now excuses really can't be had too much to why coaches don't go to clinics, you know, when they're available. They don't have any more excuses to why certain kids. I mean, right now, the only excuse that should be really a thing for all of us is just the financial restraints of certain organizations and the locations that certain people don't want to go into. I believe that, you know, with New York City, with how everyone is talking now, it can be a bigger conversation about us, you know, putting the city where the city has to be. And you know, I want to give a shout out to one of the coaches within my staff, or within my organization in which I'm with the Chiefs, Malik. You know, Malik Nuss is definitely doing great things in the Chief organization. You know, the Chief program right now is really trying to put themselves on a plateau that, you know, a lot of people really can't touch, because, you know, we've been at it for a long time. You know, the 20th anniversary is coming around. You know, I'm excited at some of the things that's going to happen this year. You know, we have big games that's coming up. You know, as stated.
I mean, it's some games, some out-of-state games, and you know, and like what I was saying earlier. I mean, we can't really. It's just you and me talking. We can't really comment a lot about the Chiefs situation as far as the league is concerned. We're not qualified to give a comment. We're not in that room, but well, you know, one day I would get just or build to I mean, we can't. You know, I know. No, I know. We just talking, but there's certain things that we can't really say because we don't know. But you know, Uncle Milt gonna get at it. He gonna get at it. I want to know. You know what I'm saying? Well, the thing is that, man, moving right along. We want to have a guest today, a big guest that's having a successful season, man. I mean, his all-season work, man. I call him Mr. Executive Tyrone Draper, Tyrone Franklin. I keep calling Tyrone Franklin, Mr. Executive from the Big Apple slash Big Tri-State. Did a lot of work in the off season, man. Did a lot of work in the off season. We're gonna have him on the show next week. Definitely, we're supposed to have him tonight, but we were, you know, that's my bag. You know, I'm going with that 3-step forward and 2-step back type of thing, and that's what happens when you try to do great things. You know what I'm saying? You go through setbacks, and we just got a setback, but we gonna overcome it. We gonna make it. We gonna make it happen. We gonna get Tyrone Franklin in next week live in one of our rented studios, and here to talk about his great. Now he had an amazing all season. I'm not gonna get into it. I was at the Big Apple meeting, you know, eating my blank off, and there was some things that I missed. I want to ask him about some certain things popped off. And he said, Milt, you didn't. I said, nah, you know, you had those hot wings I was hitting, man. So I was eating, and it was some things came up, and I didn't know. But we have him in next week to talk about that. And we're going to ask a lot of questions, and he's going to tell us certain things that we don't know yet. But he did have an amazing all season, man, you know. And, you know, just like I said, I hate to admit it. I always say, you know what I'm saying? It can't be one king. It can't be one king. But damn, Big Apple is trying as hell to take that crown in New York City, man. You know, he ain't leaving nobody no room neither. So, you know, we gonna have I call him Mr. Executive Tyrone Franklin inside one of our studios next week here on the podcast show, 9:00. Y'all tune in. You know, I'm gonna post it up on Facebook and everything. So tonight was just with us just getting our feet wet, getting back on the bike. We've been off. I've been off a little longer than I want to, but like I said, you know, we left our studios at Green Desk, and we thought it would have been easy, but this leasing thing got us back. You know, that we really gotta, you know, but the place that we're trying to get is home. It's gonna be home, at least for 5 years. It's gonna be home. It's gonna be our flags studio. There's enough room to us to do what we want. It is that we just gotta do a little adjustments to our business, our finance to go in there and really win. and really win financially. Like, the thing is that we are a 501c, and we are nonprofit. So, there's a lot of things we want to do for our corporation. And it's it's just things that was out of our hands that we gotta straighten out. It's I's we got to dot, and T's we got to cross. That's it. But we be back. We ain't stopping. We gonna keep moving and things like that. But with that said, that it was just letting you guys know where we was. We was out a little longer than we didn't want to. So what's coming up next? What is coming on? What's on the table for the sports show? It's our live stream. Oh my God, we are very, very, very close, and it's getting this thing out there and popping. We're gonna be on the field, on the court, on the field, on the baseball diamond, on the track. We're gonna be all over, bringing youth games to you on our sports channel. Watch the Youth. You know what I'm saying? And we're gonna be bringing them. We're gonna travel wherever New York plays at. If it's a good game and a good event, we're gonna be there and we're gonna bring it to you. You know what I'm saying? It's like a sports show. It's gonna be an ESPN sports show on a youth level. I'm telling you, how Uncle Milt, I do it and I do it the top. I go all out to make it look very, very good and very entertaining and very visual to my potential viewers and things like that. And there's another show. We're gonna be on Facebook now. This is very important to the parents. And I am allowing myself an hour on Facebook to answer any questions that parents, want to ask about youth sports, from how an organization is ran, what the kid need to do to get better, what school, and we're going to get information about what high school program and things like that. And any question that a parent has to ask about moving their kid through this youth sports world, I'm gonna be available to answer. And if I don't have the answers, you email me the questions. And Sunday at 8:00, I'll be available on Facebook to answer your questions. So you email me the questions. I want to get if it's a question that I can answer, I will bring in somebody who can answer it. So hit us up at NYC Youth Sports Podcast Show at gmail.com with your questions, and we will answer it live on Facebook. This is a Facebook show that we're gonna go live on Facebook, so the world can ask, and you can type in your questions. But we're gonna be talking about different topics, and we're gonna have some guests on it, to some parents to ask questions. And so I'm excited by that show. That's Coach Uncle Milt Q&A, and that's gonna be on Sunday. From this Sunday coming at 8:00, I'll be on YouTube. On Facebook, and any questions you ask, that we're gonna answer. So it's just like we got our feet wet, man, and we're gonna come back banging 8:00 next week with our episode. We had 6'9", Joe. Joe there. Joe got his mic. Joe was up. Yeah, we're gonna start off episode 6'9". Just a warm up. We call it a warm up. We're glad to hear from Coach High, because he's part of the show, and we don't hear from him all the time. And me and Coach High had a long conversation. This season is all in. Everybody in deck. If those who part of the show, they got to get in deck. They got to get on deck and get involved. You know what I'm saying? They got to get involved. And into the show, so we can grow it, like it's supposed to. So I'm glad. Thanks, Coach High, for calling in. and being my co-host today and talk about a little bit what we talk about. We just getting our feet wet today. It's nothing like just like I said, it's nothing serious. We had to get on the bike, Joker. We've been off so long, man. So we had to get back. And we had a hot season end. It was a hot season end. And when you doing this, you got to get your rhythm. I got to get my rhythm back and get back and doing certain things. But it's yo, High, you still there? High left? Let me get High back. And we gotta talk about us three on the line. We being blamed for some dude, some funny dude on Facebook. We getting blamed for it. Now, I like this dude, man. This dude got a lot of energy, man. Let me try to get High back. Did he leave? Coach, High.
I'm here.
Yeah. Oh, damn. Where you go, man? Can you hear?
He's here.
Hold on. Let me set you up. Next week, we ain't going to have this. We're going to have the mic on the phone. Hello, can you hear?
I'm here.
Yeah. What is this? What is this guy, Coach Brown, man? Why are people blaming us for Coach Brown? You know when I just realized I got a call from the powers of be.
I got several calls.
No, this is the first time. No, this is the first time when Coach Brown came out with that chief post. That was funny as hell, man. And I read it. So I got a call that same day, right? Milt, this guy is your friend. I'm like, what? He's not my friend. I said, no, he's not. I don't know this guy. Then I remembered because this is you go back to New York for New York and look, you go back and look. I shared a post for the Tri-State Mr. Gobble's Pioneer League, right? He has a Tri-State League, right? I shared his post on New York for New York, just like I said. That page is for New York events. And I remember he answered it and said something about, well, you posting this toilet bowl league. I said, what? Who are you? And then he never answered again, and I forgot about it. Right? So when they questioned me, I'm like, what? I don't know this guy until I went back and looked. So they assuming because this guy is on my page, or how Facebook is funny. You know somebody that knows somebody. Oh, nah, Milt, that's you. I'm like, that's not me. I wish I thought of something like that. But I tell you this, like I tell them, and I'm saying live on the air, if I find Coach Brown, he's going to take that H off his shirt and put on a podcaster.
Listen, I've been calling around trying to find out this dude, man.
I definitely want that dude. I definitely want that dude on the show, bro.
Like I said, I've been coaching for a long period of time in the city. The Hornets has been a team that was out of football for, I want to say, about 3 years. From what I know of that team, this was years ago, in which that they actually had a football team. And, the people that I do know from the coaching circles in New York City, I really trying to find out who this Leroy.
Like I said, you find that man, you give him my number. Uncle Milt know how, listen, man. It's nobody in youth football in New York. I don't have their number. Y'all know how I get down, bro. I'll call you. I hit you in the messenger. They can they can say, Uncle Milt got at me. And people know, man. I will call you. What up? It's Uncle Milt for the sports show, man. We want you on. So we find out who this guy is, man. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be something, but he is very, Very funny. He is very funny. And just like I said, he's mentioning stuff that honestly Uncle Milt don't know. I told you my knowledge started 2019 when the show started. That's my knowledge. So that's it. So Mr. Colombo, Coach Jay, and Mike, it's not us. It's not us, man. You trying to deflect, You trying to deflect. You know what I'm saying? what Jada Kid said? You causing us distraction. You causing a distraction.
So you think it's dumb? You think it's dumb?
You pointing at us, man. It might be them. It might be them. That's the MO, man. He talking about and Mike said Joe. Mike said Joe and High and Joe and Milt. I'm like, wait a minute now, man. Come on. Joe don't know you football like that, bro.
He's just an engineer.
Joe don't know you football like that, bro. Joe knowledge of you football. How long, Joe? Joe knowledge of you football. It's not that. It's worse than mine.
It's what I hear on the show. What I hear on the show.
No, Mike say, yo, stop playing, man. It ain't me. You got the same fonts, Milt. Listen, man, I ain't the only one do graphics. That's what I like about the dude, man. That's what I like. Now, I don't even want to talk about that last post of the Chief. That was so funny. You know what I'm saying? It was so funny, man. And it's still growing. Now, Joe, it got about over 100 comments. That's how funny that was, man. That's how funny that was, man. I said, man, this dude Brown's gonna get somebody hurt. But the deal is this. The deal is this, man. We don't know who it is, and sometimes, that brings us together to find out who's Coach Brown. That's how I find out who's Coach Brown. Coach Brown seems to be knowing a lot of things, and let's see what it is in the future, man. But it even got on me about when he said that sports guy, he don't know nobody and don't know you sports. That's what he said to me. I said, what? I said, wow, man. With that said, man, we gonna get out of here, man. We hung out 44 minutes and we be back next week with just like I said, we be back next week with Mr. Executive Tyrone Franklin from Big Apple and AKA Big Tri-State. He done made some amazing moves forward as far as youth sports, youth football in New York City and and New York State. He made some huge steps to get his league out there in the forefront. So we're gonna talk about. He's gonna come and say some things that he's working on and some things that we don't know about. And then I got some questions because just like I said, I was eating when I went to his meeting. And shout out to Sam Barnes and also Courtney Collins. I got a good interview with Courtney Collins. I'm gonna put out too when we air Tyrone. We're gonna put out that Courtney Collins interview. Was very, very very exciting and knowledgeable. So shout out to those guys. And they invited me out and they good hospitality, fed me. I got a couple of drinks. Shout out to Mike and Jay. What I'm saying? Hopefully we could, like a Jay, we're still waiting for that contract, bro. What's going on? Y'all gonna put the ink on the contract so we can merge this together? So we can do, we got something going on their Monday nights, and hopefully we can do that. So, just like I said, man, this Watch the Youth channel is it's gonna be smoking, it's gonna be big, and we going all out, man. We do this 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We don't know nothing else but youth sports, and that's it. We bringing this platform out and making it bigger and bigger. And with your help, we will get there. So let me let you go. We'll be back. God bless Uncle Milt. Just Uncle Milt be back next, and then also the podcast. We be back next week at 8 o'clock. We're gonna be in one of our rented studios for the day, and back with our artwork and our technical stuff and things like that, and till we finally sign that lease and we're gonna be in our home permanently. So thank you, God bless, and we see you next week, man. So peace.